Good afternoon, Margaux, and thank you for joining us in the latest episode of the Trust Builders podcast. Margaux, would you be able to start by saying a few words about yourself and your role at Yubo?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me. So my name is Margaux. I'm the head of trust and safety operation at Yubo. And so my role consists of designing with our legal team our different safety policies and basically oversee the enforcement and implementation within our operation. And of course, collaborate with our product team to make those policies safety by design. It's been extremely rewarding. I've been working at Yubo for the last 5 years, and we've really been building this operation system from the ground, and it's been absolutely an amazing journey.
Cool. And for those of our listeners that haven't come across Yubo before, could you tell us a bit about what Yubo does?
Yeah, sure. So Yubo is a social discovery platform for Gen Z. We are a French company, but obviously we are operating all over the world. We have users in the US, in the UK, and in Europe. And so we really focus on social discovery and interaction. We want users to be able to make friends online and to meet real people just like they would do in real life. And so this is where age verification has played a huge part in setting up those expectations and carrying out our mission.
Great. And so, thinking a bit about trust,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say are the three core things that Yubo has done to help build trust in the platform?
Yeah. So I think to start with, it's important to know that trust has really been foundational for Yubo because we are an interaction platform and we want to make sure that those interactions are meaningful. We really believe that without safety, there's no trust, and without trust, there is no growth. So that really is our driver. When it comes to our core principle, let's say proactive policy making, we really want to focus on risk detection early and harm prevention. The second thing would be transparency. How do you communicate those policies? How do you make sure that your moderation processes are understood from regulators and users and obviously trusted? And then the last bit, which is the most important one, is safety by design. How do you make those features and that safety available and visible in your app? And again, age estimation has been a huge proof of that in our onboarding process. So it's how you integrate safety features directly into your product so users feel control and protection by default.
Very cool. And everyone loves a metric. I especially love a metric. Are there any ways in which you measure that trust and how it
Yes,
works?
so it would be a mix of qualitative and quantitative metrics. Obviously, the proactive harm reduction is how you're going to track that you are anticipating threats and therefore trust, engagement, and retention. Obviously, when users feel safe, they are most likely to get back to your platform. And survey. And actually, we've been issuing some survey following our age estimation processes. And 79% of our users said that they feel safer on Yubo. 60% say that age verification improved their experience. And this signal both show trust perception and user satisfaction.
Very cool. So I didn't want this to be too much of a sales pitch for Yoti, but it sounds like
Yeah,
the age
you've been
estimation
helping us.
is really helping, which is great, because I guess one of the questions I was going to ask was, and I ask people whether they're Yoti customers or not, is what technologies you're using to build trust, and obviously age estimation is one of them. Are there other bits of technology that you think are really helpful for Yubo to build that trust as well?
Yeah, so obviously we are focusing on live streaming and we have different features. So the use of AI is extremely important in reducing harm. So proactive AI detection that can detect any inappropriate, live streaming content or violence issues. This is something that we do. This real-time detection combined with age estimation and verification processes is very strong because it allows us once to verify the authenticity of a user account while making sure that we are working on the potential activity risk that a user may carrying out. So I think those are the two pillars, but then you also need a strong operational team with expertise and investigation method that can help you to basically investigate and understand context that maybe AI struggle with. So it really is a multi-layered approach, and it's a combination of different technologies and human expertise that make it work.
And this feels like it's quite a big differentiator for you compared to other sort of social media platforms. How do you take advantage of that trust that you've built and take that to market as a differentiator? So how are you using that trust you've built to help you grow?
Yeah, so when it comes to like brand perception, I think the difference making it really is doing what you say you're going to do and make it visible. And so users and regulators now expect, safety features to be visible, tangible, be consistent between your message and your user experience. And so if I had to resume that in a few words, it means driving your platform through simplicity, clarity, accountability, and user empowerment. And so by building age estimation, for example, at onboarding, it shows that intent from the beginning of that user journey. And I think that this is what really makes a difference for us.
You're almost adding, I guess, a positive friction into
Yeah.
the yeah. Very cool. Very interesting. So just thinking, I guess, aside from Yubo and the work that we do together for a minute, what do you think makes a brand trustworthy in today's kind of digital age? So are there other brands that you look to and think, yeah, they're really nailing it on the trust side of things?
So I don't really want to quote anyone in particular. The particularity of Yubo is that we are very different on the market in the sense that we are a social discovery platform, and we
Yeah.
are one of the first platform to actually deploy age estimation on 100% of our user base. So I don't think that we are extremely comparative, especially because we are focusing on, again, interaction and not contents like
Yeah.
platforms today. But what I said is important, and is not really answering your question, sorry, but I think it's important to stress it, is the fact that cross collaboration across the industry has been crucial and keeps building and is helping raising those standards beyond regulation and compliance, in the sense that a user today will not be using only one product, it will be gravitating towards many different platforms. And so at that point, obviously expectations and standards raise above, and what you're deployed might be inspiring your user expectation to expect something similar on another service. And I think that's how we're trying to drive that. It really is by being innovative and showing that trust is going to build growth ultimately.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think one of my takeaways from attending a conference recently was actually how collaborative the I guess the trust and safety professionals are.
Yeah,
So you see all of these platforms, all very different, all very competitive with each other, really,
yeah,
sort of talking together in quite a positive, collaborative way, which
yeah.
is really, really great to see. Um,
I think
yeah.
I really think that trust is becoming like a cool differentiator,
Mm.
like in the industry, and the solution isn't one product or one technology. It's a combination of things. It's transparency, it's messaging, it's education, it's having a user support system that can answer concerns in real time, and it's having that proactive peace of mind while still focusing on giving users tool to control their experience and choose the sort of things that they want to or not be exposed to.
So we've covered off a bit about kind of the benefits of identity and age verification. Um, I guess sticking with the OT Yubo thing for now, and the age estimation
Yeah.
piece, are there any measurable improvements that you've seen over the years as a result of this?
So we've conducted over 290 million age check on our platform, which is huge. 79% through issuing surveys, and because obviously implementing age estimation means that you need to take a gradual approach and really listen to your community and iterate. But through those different user surveys that we've issued, 79% have said that they feel safer. 52% actually feel more confident interacting with users. So we've seen decrease of bots, scam. Obviously, this is a very strong tool and powerful process to reduce potential child safety issues that you may be encountering on your platform. So of course, after rolling out verification, like 20%, we saw a 20% drop in our user base. But what we saw instead was stronger engagement, more authentic community, and sustainable trust-based growth. And I think that this is the key pillar of our business model and what we want to build moving forward. So that's been really encouraging to see that trust leading to direct engagement.
And I guess, losing perhaps a percentage of people that are of no value to the platform anyway, it makes commercial sense as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Great. Is there any advice that you would give to other companies that were considering making some of these technological changes to their platforms?
Yeah, plenty. First of all, the best time to implement age verification was yesterday, but today is still a good time. No, in the sense that it's a long, iterative process that you need to build out gradually. So the first thing is use a layered approach in the sense that you need to combine automation with human oversights to make sure that you listen to your community feedback, that you look at the impact it has on your accuracy, and all those different components that are crucial. Be proactive. Don't wait for regulation. Anticipate trends and act early, because we see today how big of a challenge it is for platform to comply with the upcoming regulations that are going to carry on growing over the years. Measure trust like a business KPI because it impacts loyalty and growth, and I think it's really important. Again, constantly iterate and really focus on listening to your community to guide you throughout that process.
So I love the fact that you're talking about measuring trust as a business KPI. Have you got any specific advice on how to measure trust as a business KPI?
That's complicated, it's true, because the thing is, again, safety departments and safety operations supports business. So when everything is silent, everything goes well. And sometimes one thing is what is going to impact your entire ecosystem. So it's tricky. What I say is use a mix of qualitative and quantitative data. So as I was telling you earlier, the proactivity that you show in detecting harm is really important, like building a risk mitigation and evaluation system. What are the recurring trends that you see and how proactive you are to reduce them? Then user satisfaction, when you put on a new feature like this on your platform that is going to change drastically how your onboarding is going to be, get user feedback and compare that data through survey before and after to see whether that creates more engagement. Qualitative daily active users, that sort of metrics can be very much tied down to a specific timeline of those safety implementation, and that link can easily be made.
Very, very useful. Thank you. One of the things that I noticed when talking to other people in this space is it's hard, right? It's hard for the trust and safety people who are trying to kind of make this change happen to get listened to at the board level, at the C-suite, and influence change. Yubo seem to have done this incredibly well. I would love to know how you've managed to get yourself, and maybe it's your own personality that's made this happen. I'm not sure, and I'm sure that plays a very big role in it. But what is it that you've done personally, and what is it that the business has done to make sure that trust and safety is at the top table? Because you clearly are, right? So trust and safety is clearly a core part of what Yubo are doing. How do other trust and safety professionals get their voices heard at the board and make sure that trust and safety becomes a core part of the business?
It's a tough one, and it's definitely not something I've been doing on my own. I work with incredible people that really advocate for what we do every day. But you're right, it's tricky because it's a very particular field with very particular expertise, terminology, and it can be complicated to create that cross collaboration and raise those needs above. I think on the point of view, Bo, though, we started as a very small company. And again, being a live streaming platform, connecting Gen Z, having users that are below 18 and over 18, that carries out a lot of risk. And I think our founders understood from day one that if they were not creating that safety by design approach, that trust was not going to be there and it wasn't going to generate sustainable growth. So I think that mindset was there from the beginning and that facilitated the road a little bit for me. But then the second thing I'd say that changed our common understanding and prioritization, especially working in a startup, is risk management approach. What we do is that obviously trust and safety team are function to anticipate risk. Product team are function to solve problems. And so sometimes as a safety team, you're going to anticipate risk that are not yet a problem because that's your goal. But again, product team may be working differently and that's completely okay. So what you need to do is share the common vision, understand like that your function is here to support the business, to create trust among users, but to facilitate that product development. And so by prioritizing risk, making sure that you understand how those things work and communicate it in a way that is very fact oriented and not emotional, because obviously trust and safety team also carrying out a lot of emotion when it comes to what they do every day, really helps with creating that common understanding and prioritizing the right stuff and having the right discussion. You also need to have clear people dedicated to clear things. So a policy team, a program team, an operation team that can advocate at the right level of a product stage or project implementation, their part of the story and why it's important.
Great. I, I think that I hope that trust and safety is going to become a much more important role in businesses, and I think it might become something that people aspire to want to do. So hopefully there'll be some people listening to this that think I quite want to do that. I feel like that would be a good role for me to move into. What advice would you give to somebody wanting to become a trust and safety professional, if you like, and who do you think would be most suitable to do it? So are there kind of specific roles, specific people that work in certain sectors, certain roles at the moment that you think might be able to transition nicely into a trust and safety role?
I think anyone that is passionate around human behavior and human science can, make a great impact in the industry because at the end of the day, that's what it is about. It's about understanding communities. It's about understanding the business and the landscape that you're around and trying to combine those both approaches. So that would be one thing. When it comes to an advice, I'd say be resilient because again, and I heard that from a coach one day and I thought it was really true. Like trust and safety team and operation especially, are here to run things in the background in the sense that without operation, there is no show, but at the same time, you're here to be invisible. And if you're invisible, it means that your work is actually working. So you have to be resilient about how you come across, about issues that may happen, because it doesn't mean that you're not doing a great job. It just means that it's the system that you work in. That crisis will happen. It's just a matter of when. And the KPI is not to have any crisis, it's how you get through it and how you learn and how you iterate. You need to be passionate about growing, about learning, about understanding how other business departments work in your company, because trust and safety doesn't work if you're working in silo. You need to be a cross function that moves around. So yeah, really being passionate about people, what they do, why they think the way they do, is a great first start.
So have you had any challenges at Yubo where perhaps you've done something or something has happened that has eroded consumer trust in some way that you've then had to find a way out of, the crisis management piece that you can tell us about?
Yes. Sure. So just to give you a bit more of a background, but I think I mentioned that before, Yubo is a social discovery platform for users that could be minor or over 18. We had some clear age gate policy where we didn't want minors to interact with adults and way around, but obviously you cannot base your whole policy system on user declaration because that creates too much of a risk. So in terms of crisis, that was the sort of press issues that we could have over the years, and so we really thought, okay, we need a systemic solutions that is really going to help us with that, because it's true, it's a risk, and we're not doing enough. So enforcing age estimation at sign up really helped us to reinforce that age gate policy and appropriate experience value that we wanted to spread on the platform. So also help us, with deterring bad actors in the first place, because requiring facial verification discourage those that probably have a bad attempt to join your platform in the first place. It also helped us to block a lot more bots and fake accounts. So I'd say that for trust and safety team, you really learn how to iterate and to innovate better through crisis and through issues. And the key to do that is just to make sure that you act quick and that you really think of how you can stop that potential spread. And this is where UT has been extremely useful in terms of partnership to do just that. Okay.
That's super insightful. So, and obviously challenging. So, what you're suggesting is you've got to move fast, but also you've got to think quite hard. And it's always a challenge, I guess, to try and make the two happen at the same time. And actually, sorry, I'm going to ask one more question. But do you think that the trust and safety in the digital world and social media and things, do you think we need more standards that might help trust and safety teams kind of, I guess, raise the importance and the necessity of
Raise
these?
the bar. Yes, so it's a big question. I think there is a consensus that we need more guidance and standards, and this is what the regulation are aiming to do. The thing is, there are so many different ways to apply trust and safety to so many different products and things that is difficult to find a uniform way of thinking of those standards. What I do think is a good first step, and we've seen that all over the years, is for the industry to come together and to share those challenges and having those discussions and simply, explaining what sort of solution they tried, what works, what doesn't. I think it's a good baseline to understand where those standards needs to be. There is a need to shift, and I think we keep seeing that from a reactive approach to a proactive approach. I think it's great that regulation is setting up, accountabilities for platform to have a reporting system to communicate to their users. But when it comes to the standards of mitigating harm and making sure that we are proactive about it, this is where that standards needs to be set. And this is what Yubo has been trying to do, by showing how we innovated and how those things have been helpful to us. But again, it's such a broad field, so many different challenging for different products that it's not that simple.
Yeah, it's really tough, and the guidance is often it either feels too prescriptive or not prescriptive enough, and it's really hard to get that balance, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, and it requires, the thing is, regulations and accountability and transparency are super useful because this is the first base to then iterate on. But the thing is, it requires a lot of resources for safety team to conduct those reports, to have access to those metrics, to do those analysis and impact. And so that's shifting the way that trust and safety teams operates, the way that we're going to think of those new roles, the way that we are going to think operationally moving forward. So it's definitely a huge focus of ours as well. And we'll see how it goes.
Fantastic. Thank you, Margaux. It's super useful. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. It
Really,
was so nice to see you. And I'll speak to
thank
you
you.
soon. Have
You
a
too.
nice day. Bye.
Best of luck. Cheers.